I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of
Friday,
those
happy days. The weekend comes, let's not go on.
It's just one of those days where you don't wanna wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you wanna justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is
Knock it off, you scum fuckhead.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of
Monday,
those.
happy days.
It's just one of
Tuesday,
those.
happy days.
It's just one of those
Happy
days.
The weekend comes, let's not go on. Ready to make
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, please with the bloodstain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better shoot, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about
Monday, happy days.
it's just one of
Tuesday,
those,
happy days.
it's just one of those
Happy
days.
The weekend comes, let's not go on. Ready to make
I feel like shit. My suggestion is distance. Right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the farms.
My day keeps going this way and this way.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll stop playing games.
Give me something great. Give me something great. I hope you know I got a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
What we got here is a case of mistaken identity, you know?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief Moody, and welcome to episode 26 of the Mood of the Nation podcast. How is everyone doing this fine Sunday evening? Hopefully everyone's doing very well. I know it's a bit weird starting at 5 p.m. rather than 6 p.m., but I think the reason for that being is even on a Sunday now, it's going to be from 5 till 7 on Sundays now. Mainly because that the PA community streams that usually happens on a Sunday, like Mark Collette's live streaming, video gameplays and all of that, whether it's Warzone or tournaments or even anything else he plays. Say maybe what's the one he played recently, like Resident Evil 4 and all of that. I think they're also going to be playing Perfect Dark tonight as well for the Nintendo 64 or something like that. But I'll definitely post a link in the chat later on once that time comes for 7 o'clock. So it looks like Mood of the Nation on a Sunday. Thursdays, exact same as always. It would be Thursdays from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m., whereas Mood of the Nation on a Sunday, now it would be from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m., just so that everyone can, of course, watch my stream. And then 7 o'clock comes, you can head on over to the PA or Patriotic Alternative Community streams afterwards. There's also like another elephant in the room I also want to address. Not just with YouTube or even the live streams, but another thing is in terms of why I've not really been posting a lot of content as of late. Because I did post a message on this past Thursday that there was not going to be, episode 26 was not going to be airing on that day because there was a lot going on. I figured I might as well mention this at the beginning of the stream just so everyone knows what's going on, because even I was asked to come along to both events this weekend. One, of course, both with PA Scotland, of course. One was the camping trip in Loch Lomond with PA Scotland, and also a leafleting event. Well, not event, I should say, but basically going out leafleting in Alloa earlier today. Of course, I couldn't exactly go, mainly because of financial reasons. I couldn't go. Another reason was because I had to, I wanted to spend time more with my family. And of course, there was another reason why I couldn't go. It was because of mental health reasons. and I might as well just come clean to this part here at the moment. But remember back in June where I started a new job? A family member gave me they didn't exactly give me this new job, but they said to me that this could be a new permanent job I can have instead of the one that I'm at just now. So I was at that job. Well, technically still am at the moment, but what I had to go through was, in every job, I don't know if every job goes through this, but some jobs, particularly if it's like manual labor type of work, you have to go through like a 3-month period to see if you're good enough to stay on or not bother being kept on. Well, what I was told before I started that work, regardless of the 3-month period or anything like that, I was going to get the job regardless because of they were still looking for people anyway. Well, this past Tuesday, my boss came up, wanted to see me and wanted to talk to me about the whole 3-month period because that came up to an end. So I went to his office. We had a little chat about that. And of course, he mentioned that the 3-month period is up, and he said we believe that you're not really best suited for the role, type of thing, or what he says, like you're not really picking things up very well regarding to the job, which I thought was complete utter bullshit. I mean, there might have been a couple of mistakes here and there in the past, but I am very sure that I did manage to pick all the stuff up as soon as possible. And of course, he did say after that it was a much more faster paced environment. They need all the stuff that when it comes to manual labor, it was stuff, of course, the stuff with wood. They need that stuff, put it in like a certain section, banded up together, and then once that's all done and dusted, it gets ready to go to be delivered to the customer. Well, actually, like done and dusted when it comes to that, you see. So that was that. Last week was supposed to be my last week, but then on this past Friday, just before we finished up, he did say to me, "Oh no, technically, this week was not meant to be your last. Next week will be your last on Wednesday." And that was pretty much it with that. So my family member, who was also really pissed off about this as well, he was not happy with this whatsoever. He's going to try and see if he can talk to my boss about that, see whether or not if maybe there could be a way around that. Maybe if he can't have me on like permanently, but maybe have me finish up for the rest of the month, just so it right up towards the end of September, and then that way it gives me a chance to collect all the wages I've earned for the past month, and then after that I can look for another type of job. But even then, even with all of that being said and done, I was absolutely pissed off about that. I was really down in the dumps. That's pretty much the reason why I didn't really post a lot, whether it's YouTube or Telegram or anything like that at all. Which is why I couldn't stream episode 26 this past Thursday due to that, because I was just not mentally really there. I was just really down in the dumps. And it's pretty much why I couldn't really manage to go out with PA Scotland regarding to the two events that happened during this weekend, and why I wanted to spend time with my family regarding to that. It was just because for me, I wanted to try my best to see if I can find another job in the meantime before I finish up where I'm working at just now. I think there might be a job I can go back to, because the one I was at before I went to the one I talked about during mid-June, that one, it was more like a temporary workplace, but they liked me so much that they wish that they can give me like a permanent contract sort of thing, but they couldn't. I don't know why, but there were just other reasons that were going on at the time. But I'm going to see if I can maybe contact them at some point, whether it's tomorrow or Tuesday, just before I finish up, just to ask them, hey, this is what's going on. If it's possible, even though I was working there temporarily, where I was working at your place at the time, is there maybe job positions going on at the moment? If not, then could you maybe let me know as soon as possible? That sort of thing. because I really was bummed out about that. I really thought I was going to get that job place permanently, but looks like that's not going to be the case whatsoever. So I think at the moment I'm kind of went back to focusing on that. Once I get that sorted out, then I'll still be making content and I'll still be posting stuff here and there. But I think what's important for me is that I should definitely focus on that at the moment. You just get that sorted out, get that fixed up, and then once that's all fixed up, and I'm back having a job, I'll be going back to doing this in the meantime after that. So, but again, it's only for me. It's only just a case of we'll just need to wait and see what happens. But don't think of this as like me quitting or anything like that at all, or taking another hiatus. I'm definitely coming back. I'm definitely making more streams and all of that. It's just so that I want you guys to know what exactly has been going on, and just so that I don't want to come across as if I'm being distant with everyone or anything like that at all. But it's just because it's not been a great week, to say the least. Not been the best week I've ever had in my life, to be honest, especially during this month. But I guess there's the old saying that just keep your hopes up. That's what people normally say regarding to that. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to make it all down and all this and that, but I'm trying to keep my hopes up and then see what comes after that. Because maybe something good might happen after it. I don't know. But again, for me, as I said before, it's only just a case of we'll just need to wait and see what happens, really. But we'll see from there. So. Anyway, let's have a look and see what's going on in the chat just now. As I mentioned earlier on, not mentioned earlier on, but as I mentioned in previous streams, it looks like there's a lot more familiar faces at the moment, such as Jose, how you doing? English Rose, how you doing? Thank you for watching. Budgie Burger, as per usual. Streaky Bacon, Rory Herbert, how you doing? Riga Mortis, how you doing? I don't think I've seen you before. I don't know if I have seen you before, but if I haven't, thank you very much for watching the stream. Really appreciate that. Kitchen Skillet, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Canny Henny, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Felix Boru, thank you for watching the stream. I think you also started following me on Twitter. I'm not entirely too sure if that is the case, but if that's you who followed me on Twitter this past week, thank you very much for following me there. Really appreciate that. Amanda Lee, hello, how you doing? Even though 14, I am feeding my men folk do all catch up with you when they are fed. That's not to worry, Amanda. Really appreciate that. Gamma Sandwich, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Let me see. Johnny Gonads. Is it Johnny? Anyways, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Let me see. RW, thank you for watching the stream. English Weather, same to you. Thank you very much. Let me see. And of course, most of the comments of coming in, saying that, it's a shame it happened. I mean, I guess it's life at the end of the day. Like, shit happens when regarding to that. But like I said, I'm not trying to be all depressed or anything like that at all. Yeah, maybe it was a bit like I was down in the dumps like the first couple of days, but as I said before, I'm trying to keep my hopes up and see if something comes out of it, but you never know. So Gamma Sandwich, been there, done that. 6 months acting in a supervisory position, did everything. The boss gave the job to a guy he liked, but who's lazy as fuck. Well, there you go. Let me see here. Peter Walker, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Tricky Hoot, they love a kiss arse. Yeah, when it comes to these types of jobs, I can definitely see that. Although it's kind of funny you mentioned that Tricky Hoot, because even when I got that announcement on Tuesday, there was something in the back of my mind thinking that I can't keep doing this anymore, where it's like I get a job, work for a bit, and then either I'm no longer required or I'm not doing the work well enough to the point where they'll just not have me on any longer. I'm getting to the point now where I can't stand that any longer, and I really want to do something. In fact, to be honest with you all, I was actually thinking about doing something more like self-employment type of thing, like maybe in the sense of maybe doing this completely full time, both content creating and also activising full time. I don't know how that would normally work, whether it be like for financial reasons or anything like that at all. But honestly, if that would be something I would definitely would love to do, because it's a way for me to actually be myself. It's something that I love doing, whether it's whether it's not getting paid for it, or even hypothetically speaking, getting paid for it regarding to doing this full time. I would definitely prefer doing this full time than working in some place where, or A, I don't know if I'm going to be there permanently or temporarily, and B, I don't know whether or not if I'm doing the job well enough to the point where they might want to keep me on or not. So, but if I were to do this full time, it's like I am my own boss. I do my own thing, making my own live streams, making more videos, promoting stuff like other PA content here and there. It's something that I would definitely would love to do, but I don't know if that'd be something I want to do just now, but maybe I'll wait a bit longer. But again, like I said, only time will tell, and you just need to wait and see what happens really with that. But you never know. So, Tricky Who again? I hate all anti-whites, even the white anti-whites more. Yeah, they're absolute traitors. I could definitely understand why, dude. English Rose again. Chief Moody, I'm so sorry to hear this. It's a blow to our confidence to have something like this happen. You will find something soon. Hugs. Well, thank you very much, English Rose. I really appreciate the comments here. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. So, let me see. Rory Herbert, take it easy. Chief Moody will be here for you. Again, thanks, Rory. I really do appreciate the comments with that. So, thank you very much for that. Amanda Lee, you focus on you. We appreciate what you do. Again, thanks very much, Amanda. Really appreciate that. Let me see. Your Scottish mate, more resolve and steel than most. You will be fine. Again, thanks very much, Felix. I really appreciate that. Honestly, guys, thank you very much for the comments here. I really do appreciate that. There's a familiar face as well. C3. Hello, mate. Hello, sir. How you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Speaking of which, I'm actually glad you're here just now, because I got a bit of an announcement just now for next week on Sunday. So I had a chat with a gentleman who's also a host of this podcast. In fact, C3 is also a host of this podcast as well. But basically what I'm going to say is next week I will be having another guest on the show. Well, two guests on the show, I should say. So when I had both Sam and Laura on Mood of the Nation, I think it was episode 23, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was 23, and then 24 was my guest, Urba Durber. And that was actually before I took that break. So when I had Sam and Laura on, we had a chat about, who would be ideal to come on the show as like future guests and whatnot. And I can't remember if it was either Sam or Laura who said that. I think it might be Laura, but I'm not entirely too sure on that. But one of them did say or did advise that for future guests, it would be ideal to have someone who doesn't really. I when I say this, I don't mean this in a douchebag way. I'm just like saying this as like in the context of like future guests. But basically, it would be ideal to have someone who are like up and coming content creators, or like people who don't normally do content creating, but maybe they wouldn't mind maybe having or sharing their own viewpoints on nationalism, or even patriotic alternative, or anything like that at all, or just something along those lines. So when they said that, I thought, I know the very people I can bring on the show at some point. So anyway, long story short, next week I'll have guests on the show to give their own perspective on nationalism and PA and all of that. Let me just actually quickly showcase the page here. Hold on one second. I've actually got this up, but basically it's a podcast of by the name of PA Young Scots. You can easily find their content on Patriotic Alternative Scotland on Odyssey. Let me see if I can also get that up here as well. Let me see here. She's also right in Scotland as well. Keep forgetting to do that. Let me see just now. Yeah, perfect. And then, of course, playlist should come up. PA Young Scots. Yeah. So what I'll do in the meantime is copy and paste that. Let me see here. Laura commented on our latest podcast. I've heard about that. Yeah, that's really excellent. I've seen that on Telegram, if I'm not mistaken. But no, that's really good stuff, dude. That's really good stuff. Hold on one second here. Let me see. So I'll post that link in the chat. So what this link is? This is the Odyssey link for PA Scotland official page, because that's where you'll normally see the PA Young Scots hosting their content on that channel. So the hosts of PA Scotland will be my guest next week on Sunday. But in the meantime, definitely check out their content. They've only put up 4 episodes so far. But I would definitely recommend checking them out in the meantime. So we'll definitely see from there. So let me just have a look and see what's also been said in the comments before I get into the next topic here. Let me see here. Glenn Flasher, do they know who you are in PA at the job? No, see, when it comes to anything work related, I never talk about politics or anything like that at all, you see. So say for example, like at my current work, I never usually talk about stuff like that, just in case if they don't know what that is, they might look up at that, or might have a look into that on Google or whatnot, and of course I might see the all the words like fascist, far right, and all of that. I might be put off by that. They're like, oh, hold on a minute here, like we can't have someone working in our place who's part of this organization. But no, when it comes to stuff like that, I never talk about politics outside during work places or anything like that at all. I usually try to be as professional as I possibly can within the workplace, and that's that, you see. So let me see here. Suriki Bacon. I got the opposite problem. I've been off work for 2 weeks with pretend COVID, and I have to return tomorrow, so I am outrageously sober this evening. Oh dear. I wish that was me, but oh well. Felix again, mate, I got sacked for questioning Islam in schools, reported and sacked. Oh Jesus. At least you were questioning about stuff like the whole Islam thing at school, but no, they shouldn't have sacked you for that. That's just really bad. Let's see why I'm on YouTube is spreading the word of equality. Nationalist Yorkshireman. Hey guys, a long time no see. Also, fought work. Well, thanks very much. Nice to have you back here. Whoop whoop. Plenty of demand for professional drivers if that's your thing. Yeah, I can have a look at that at some point and see from there. So, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. So. Let me see here. Yes, man. Actually, for me, what do you think of nationalists who don't like PA? That question. Hold on one sec. To be honest with you, I never really get involved with anything like that whatsoever. But my main focus when it comes to nationalism is not just with PA or anything like that at all, but mainly just nationalism in general. I think what is majorly important is that we spread the word of the anti-white agenda that's going on just now, and to the best of our ability, try and get people on our side as quickly as humanly possible, especially with the prediction of 2066 or 2060 of us Brits becoming a minority. That would be my major focus on that when it comes to nationalism. I think anyone who I'll just say this just real quick, okay? I think people who, and I've seen this many times on other platforms like Telegram, for instance, and all of that. I think those people are just complete waste of space, in my opinion. It's one thing to not like PA for legitimate reasons when it comes to that. Like if you don't like PA because of this and this, and if it's a legitimate argument to make, I can understand where they're coming from with that and why they wouldn't want to be part of PA or anything like that. Completely understand that. When it comes to people who constantly bitch about PA nonstop, and then make up these bullshit arguments and these concerned trolling shit, and being completely disingenuous with the arguments they present. Those people, I think, are complete waste of space and have no place for nationalism whatsoever. My main focus, and I'm sure everyone will be the same, but our main focus should be to prevent our people from becoming a minority by 2066. That's the major goal I think we all should be focusing on right now regarding to that. But regarding to that question, that I hope that answers your question. That's all I'm going to say on the matter regarding to that. So, but thank you for the question anyway. Yes, man, I really appreciate that. Let me see who else. We need to do Australia is never solved peacefully. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Congratulations to another black dude. He's having a bouncing baby something. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. Let me see here. Moody, YouTube banned one of my old videos for talking about the pillars of Celtic socialism. All right, that's a bit strange. I don't know why they would do that, but don't know why they would do that. It's weird. But I think when it comes to YouTube banning videos left and right, it's probably a best idea to move to other platforms like Odyssey and whatnot. So, because the way things have been going with YouTube, it's not getting any better whatsoever. So, yes, man, it will be much sooner than that. Yeah, I keep seeing people saying that in the comment sections and all of that. Instead of 2060 or 2066, it's going to be much sooner. Say like maybe 2050 or 2040. Not entirely too sure, but the way things have been going with the immigration crisis, it's probably going to be much sooner rather than later, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. Yes, man, again, I agree. If they don't like it, they should just move on to something else. Exactly. That's, again, a very valid point with that. Let me have a look and see. There are one or two individuals within PA who I am not very fond of, but overall they seem to be doing good work. That's fair enough. Let me see. If it cheers anyone up, I've noticed a lot more normies have started noticing the anti-white agenda lately, and they're not exactly happy about it. Well, that's good to hear. Hopefully more people will be waking up to it sooner rather than later. So, from Whoop Whoop, there's bound to be some kind of flashpoint event soon. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, i.e. major riots, terrorist attacks, etc. is long overdue. Yeah, I could probably see that. Especially with the Afghanis coming into the country. I wouldn't be surprised if anything like that were to happen at some point. You know it's bound to happen at some point. Rigor mortis, the upcoming census will be a good indicator of where we are going. We'll definitely need to look out for that and see from there. A few made the mood. Hello, James Hayworth. How you doing? Daniel Archer. I heard British children will be a minority in schools by 2030. Yes, I think that's been brought up before. I don't know if it's 2027 or if it's 2036 or 35. It's something like that, but it's not too long for British children will become a minority, which that's very concerning regarding to that. That's very concerning. In the US, whites in Western Canada will be a minority by 2030. I have seen a census of that not too long ago. I don't know if anyone else has seen this video, but I remember seeing a clip from Jimmy Fallon show. They were actually talking about that whites were becoming a minority within America by a certain year, and it's non-whites like Latinos and blacks were becoming more of a majority, and the whole audience just applauded that idea of whites becoming a minority. It's absolutely disgusting that we're living in a time where sorry, when I first listened to that, I really couldn't believe that. This idea of we live in a society where we want to stop racism and all of that. We want to embrace diversity and all of that. But screw white people. They're the complete devil and all of that. It's just the double standard is tremendous, and of course, it definitely shows that there's definitely an anti-white agenda being pushed within the mainstream media. So, yeah, exactly. Streaky bacon, sickening self-hatred. That's exactly what this is. It's like white guilt on steroids. That's basically what this is. Regarding to that clip of Jimmy Fallon, is it Jimmy? Yeah, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, I should say. This is the most bizarre era in history. Yeah, I could definitely see that. It's very, very bizarre. Very bizarre. Seeing Bonnie Lad's new Scots upload. I've not seen that at the moment. I'll definitely have a look at that at some point. To be honest, it feels like we already are a minority from the way literally every single institution already is so anti-white. I could definitely see that, yeah. Even though I think technically we're still a majority, but the way things have been going, yeah, we're acting like as if like a bunch of second-class citizens, despite the fact this is meant to be our homeland. But let me see. With the new 40,000 Afghans, wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, definitely. From C3 again. They call replacement a conspiracy theory. Then, when whites become a minority, they take measures to prevent white minority rule. This happened in an American city recently. Right. I might have actually heard about that as well, C3, but I'm not entirely too sure which city that was. Don't know if it was meant to be in New York or LA or anything like that at all, but yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Isn't it funny, right? Isn't it funny that these are like the same type, like establishment types, talking about how the white the great replacement is like a alt-right or far-right conspiracy theory, but then they're the same groups of people who will actually push it down your throat and then turn around and say to you, oh, it's just a conspiracy theory, you're just being paranoid and all of that. It's absolutely unreal, absolutely unreal. Budgie Burger, nationalists are diverse but share a common desire. Our land for our people, best place to start. There you go. That's exactly a good point. Nationalist Yorkshireman, I live in Bradford. We're close to being a minority over here already. I've heard about that when it comes to demographic changes and all of that. So, whoops, 1 second. English Rose, anti-white hatred. What's it going to be like when we are a minority? Frightening. Yeah, you know what? If things are bad at the moment, you can imagine that when we do become a minority, it's going to be even worse. We're going to be treated like as if we are the devil personified. We're going to be treated like as if we're complete scum of the earth people. And if you think things are bad at the moment, just wait until we do become a minority, as English Rose pointed out in the chat. It's very frightening stuff. And if we don't do anything about it, then it's only going to get even worse from here. Let me see. Felix again. There's parts in Wales which are dark, dirty, and degenerate, and the average Kingsman just ignores it. Yeah, it's a shame that where today's society just embrace degeneracy, right? Regardless, it's completely disgusting. That I'm pretty sure from Tricky Who, I'm sure plenty of the white people in Fallon's audience were pissed. I'm sure that some of them were pissed, but when you hear the audio, like you could just tell almost a vast majority of the audience members were like really supporting this demographic change. But no, I wouldn't be surprised if there were some members of the audience who were completely pissed off with that. So, Nationalist Yorkshireman, fuck me. Work tried asking me to come into work 4 hours early. Jesus. R. Claire, hello, R. Claire, how you doing? What can we do more to push back on the threat of losing our freedoms in relation to health passports, etc.? That's a big thing that's going on at the moment, isn't it? It's a pretty good question because I've seen a lot of videos recently from other countries and all of that, like Australia, France, and whatnot, that are really pushing back against this. And as happy as I am that those countries are pushing back against the vaccine passports, it's kind of sad to see that countries like here in the UK, for instance, well, I say here in the UK, I think parts of England are pushing back against it, but I know that Scotland, a small handful of people in Scotland are completely against it, but I know there's definitely a handful of people who are, well, I want to go back to this nightclub, I want to go to this venue, but if I have to go there, I need to get a vaccine passport. Okay, fine. I'll get a vaccine passport. I'll get rid of a little bit of like my freedom just for a little bit of safety. You know, all that kind of stuff. Really, I think the only thing we need to do with regard to that, Claire, is that what can we do more to push back on the threat of losing our freedoms in relation to health passports, etc.? Honestly, I think really just call out for what it is. I think whether it's honestly just get out there, talk about it, post leaflets about it. You know, post content online, whether it's if hopefully you don't get the deplatformed on Twitter or anything like that at all. But really, as I said, just speak out against it. You know, just really showcase that this is all completely BS. The whole point of the whole COVID stuff, the restrictions and whatnot, it's no longer about safety. It's all about control at this point. And it's important to really call this out for what it really is, because it's all about control. It's not about protecting, you know, the public or whatnot. It's all about maintaining the masses. Like what can we do to control these people in a bid to our will type of thing. So really, ultimately speaking, as I said before, just call it out for what it is. That's really all I can think of at the moment. So. Amanda Lee, I have to be honest, I get fed up with some people saying that it's because the white birth rate has fallen is due to feminists. I have 2 kids, would like more, but can't afford it. Yeah, I have seen so many people like making that point like over and over again, especially when it comes to like the declining in white birth rates. Oh, is it because of feminism? Is it because of this and that? It's like, no, it's like, it's not really just that. It's more to it than that. Like there's something far more sinister at play here, because we're seeing a lot of increased birth rates when it comes to non-whites. Oh no, that's completely fine, but when it comes to white birth rates, oh no, we can't have that. You're just creating. You're just going to create like an overpopulation problem. But that's the thing. Even if you were to mention that point, that it's not really feminism that's the problem here. It's not the SJWs or anything like that at all. It's this anti-white agenda that's being pushed by a certain group of people in society. But when you try to bring that up to them, those same people who will try and act like as if like feminism and SJWs are the problem, i.e. in this case, people like Sivnats and whatnot, they'll just say, oh, well, no, that sounds like race, off I go. You know, so obviously these people are complete cowards that don't really want to actually go through what's really the heart of the issue here. But Kingdom of Vinland, Chief Moody, howdy. Did you watch the thing? What thing was that? Kingdom of Vinland? I'm not entirely too sure what you're referring to. Let me have a look here and see. Soap No Height. There you go. That's a product by Jodie Kay and also by R. Claire, if I'm not mistaken, the soap brand. Let's see. I want the Gov to go full Soviet on the lockdowns / passports. All discontent helps our case, or helps our cause, sorry. Bring it on. Well, there you go. Pedal to the metal. Let me see here. Let's see. C3. Just stay strong until the Gov says vaccine passports are racist because minorities don't get vaccinated. You know that's going to happen. You know there's going to be some kind of backlash. Well, not backlash, but something like that might come to pass. But you never know. So it would be pretty funny though if that were to happen. So I'm gearing up for an employment tribunal. My employer has suspended me for not wearing a mask. Well, as long as you stick to your principles, that's the main thing regarding to that. So as long as you stick to your principles with that. So because I know there's some places like work related that are very strict when it comes to vaccinations and of course the mask and all of that. But as long as you sorry, excuse me. I was just going to say, as long as you stick to your principle, you don't, bend the knee and all of that, then, hopefully something. I wish you the very best of luck, and hopefully you'll find something better in the future. So, Nationalist Yorkshireman, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I haven't gotten the vaccine for COVID because I don't think it's deadly enough to warrant it. It also doesn't help that everyone tries to bully you into it. Yeah, exactly. Even myself, for instance, I still have not been vaccinated at this point in time, mainly because I don't trust the vaccine for the life of me. I don't understand why people want to put something inside of their body when it's been proven that it's never been tested of what exactly is actually in the vaccine. So why would you want something like that inside of your body? Well, because the government told you so? Well, that's funny for you to say that, because aren't you the same group of people who are against the Tory party? Because this is something that's came from the current Tory government. So if you're against the Tory government, why would you still continue to have this vaccine in your body? Because it came from them essentially. But I guess when it comes to giving up a bit of your freedom for a bit of safety, you listen to the government no matter what, even though they're the Tory government, which you claim to despise all your life. But no, that's fine, whatever. So, whatever. So, anyway, Chief Moody, the Hyperborean Reflections video. Oh, let me see here. I think I know what you're on about, Vinland. Let me have a look here and see. I might have actually seen a bit of the video in question. Hold on. Those videos. I know exactly what you're on about. Yeah. Yes, just to say, I can't remember exactly which video it was, but I did manage to watch just a little bit of one video, and from what I've seen so far, it was pretty good stuff, and I'll definitely continue on watching later on. As I do see on my screen, well, on my phone, I should say, I'm still subscribed to that channel anyway, so there we go. That's good. I'll definitely have a look more into that and see from there, of course. So, whoop again. If the vax worked, then the case numbers would be dwindling away to zero now. Well, you think, but they'll always try to come up with another way of saying, oh, well, here comes another variant. Here comes another variant of the virus. We have to protect ourselves even more. Here, get yourselves a booster dosage or something like that. It's completely ridiculous. And then at that point, people then should realize, I think maybe after the second vaccine, and of course the government says, oh no, you need to take this as well, that should have been a sign for people to realize that something's not right. Something smells like bullshit here when it comes to this COVID stuff. But again, people are just willing to just give up their freedom just for a bit of safety, which is really, really sad in my opinion. But what can you do? So let me have a look here and see what else is here just now. Amanda Lee, in relation to vaccine passports, I tried to educate people about vaccines. So many people don't realize that being vaccinated don't stop you getting COVID or spreading it. Exactly. A lot of people don't know that, but people seem to think that as soon as you get vaccinated, then, oh, that's you. You don't get the virus anymore. But it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. It really doesn't work like that. And what I think is even more damning is that the mainstream media don't really seem to clarify that a lot. They just want people to get vaccinated, and that's it. They don't question it. You should never question it. You should definitely get vaccinated, whether it's the first dosage, the second dosage, the booster packs, or anything like that at all. Sounds like something from a trading card game, but that's beside the point. Or the third booster packs or anything like that at all. It's just, don't question it. Just get vaccinated. And it's like, well, why? Should you not maybe educate the public that being vaccinated doesn't mean that you're immune to the virus or anything like that at all? But it's like, no, just get vaccinated. Don't question it, and all of that. So it's a very bizarre reality we're living in just now, but that's just what it is at the moment, you see. So let me have a look here and see. Hi, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. We have another familiar face. Sam, hello, sir. How you doing? I reckon the COVID BS is going to fall through this winter. Everyone's talking about that. When winter comes around, the government will be pushing that heavily. We need to have another like, what is it? What will we be now? Like third or fourth lockdown or something like that? Like, winter is coming. You know, we need to have another lockdown. It's for your safety, ladies and gentlemen. It's for your safety. You know, don't worry about it. It's like, how much longer do we have to go through that? Because again, it's no longer about safety. It's all about control. It's all about control. Speaking of Sam, I do appreciate you being here, Sam, in the chat and watching the stream just now, because I think I want to give a bit of a shout out to both Sam and also PA Yorkshire in this case, because Sam has done it once again, made a very based speech in front of the Britannia Hotel, mainly to do with like the migrants coming into Britain and staying in these hotels in Britain. In fact, the video is called PA Yorkshire and Local Residents Protest at Britannia Migrant Hotel. And this is on the official Patriotic Alternative Odyssey account. So let me just see if I can share the screen real quick and just let you guys watch it. Of course, if you haven't seen it already, that is. But I just want to give a bit of a shout out to Sam and also PA Yorkshire, and also the residents of the people who came along, because this was pretty based in my opinion. So let me have a look here and see. Hopefully it plays on Odyssey, doesn't buffer or anything like that. So, but I think we should be fine because of it being Odyssey. So let me see. Yeah, it's on the screen. That's fine. Perfect. Full blast of the volume. Let's see.
Our government makes choices. It makes choices every day. Behind us stands a prime example in a hotel called Britannia, no less. People from half a world away, welcomed by our border force, put up at our expense, waiting for our social services to help them stay here permanently. We have over 200,000 homeless. We have 1.6 million on council housing waiting lists. Our government has made a choice. Them, not us. The government has bottomless pockets for those arriving by dinghy, yet only scraps for those who built this country. Scraps for the only people who can carry this nation into the future. Conservatives won the last election on an anti-immigration platform. The people had faith that they would turn off the spigot and halt the flood. Faith enough to break the red wall that had stood for decades. They took that working class support and did this with it. Thousands every day, planes, trains, boats, with nothing but platitudes and empty promises from the likes of Priti Patel and the Home Office. Just running down the clock until 2066, when we become a minority in our homeland. This isn't about increasing GDP. This isn't about funding pensions. This isn't even about all the fancy food they're going to bring. This is the engineered replacement of our people by anti-white forces. Government, police, media, all of them anti-white, all of them against you. Well, we're sick of being told that our ethnic replacement is progress. We're finished with being told we're evil. But most of all, we are done apologising. We love our people and we want a future for our children. We are Patriotic Alternative. Join us and take a stand against the great replacement of our people. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent stuff right there. Oops, hold on. Let me just pause that in Odyssey and back here again. I'll keep the screen shared again, so I'll just keep up there just now. So there we go. Excellent stuff. What to do, guys? Can we get a 14 in the chat for Sam there? I know not just for Sam, but can we give a 14 for Sam, PA Yorkshire, and also the residents who were there on that day? That was just tremendous stuff. Absolutely tremendous stuff. Because I think If I'm not mistaken, that video came out, I think, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember watching it, post a comment in a group chat. I thought that was just fantastic. Absolutely tremendous work from everyone involved. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Hello, Aunt Sally. How you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Let me see. And also, Pseudonym, thank you for watching as well. Yeah, a lot of 14s in the chat. That was really good. Absolutely based. Love that passion. Well done, hero. No chance somebody called Patel is going to give a fuck about stopping immigration, unfortunately. Let me see. Well said, Sam. Spot on. Well, at the police officer filming it on his phone. Sorry, I wonder that this was at. I know it's very ironic that these migrants are coming into the Britannia hotel. It's very, very ironic. Very ironic. We need to repair relations with PA Yorkshire after my co-host Jay made a cheeky comment last podcast. Well, dear. Well, dear. Hopefully everything will be sorted at some point regarding to that. So we'll see. Sam equals king. I agree. My dad was telling me a while back he's planning to get the 14 words for a tattoo. That's pretty based. Hopefully he doesn't get like nicked or questioned or anything with that at all. But no, that's actually pretty based. Your Nationalist Yorkshireman, very based indeed. Your dad's planning on doing that. Very based indeed. Right then, I think we can move on to what I was going to talk about because it was a video I've watched briefly earlier on. I think it was uploaded by Barclay, if I'm not mistaken. It's basically a clip about by BBC Click, and it's all to do with like online gaming and how it's now becoming a recruitment center for extremist groups. And of course, they do mention both Mark Collette and also Patriarchal Alternative in that clip as well. So no surprise there that they're going to talk about that. I talked about the recent Warzone tournaments that happened within the community groups and whatnot. English Rose, I do agree with you saying this. Nice to see a positive reaction from the public too. Yep, definitely. A very good reception as I've seen in the video and also in the photographs and whatnot. Very good positive reception from that. Really good to see. Yeah, and even Amanda Lee response. Yes, I think people are slowly waking up. I think I agree with you, Amanda. I think people are slowly but surely waking up to what's going on just now. And it's nice to see that people are waking up to it. I think that the one small problem with that, however, is that there's still people they're still using the enemy's words, because what I've seen in the post yesterday about this event, there was a couple that came up asking someone who was there and asking, "Oh, is this where the racist protest is happening?" So I think it's good to see that people are waking up to it, but I think it still needs to be worked on, that people are still using the enemy's word tactics when it comes to our movement and all of that. So, but again, it's good to see that people are actually waking up to it, of course. Don't need that page anymore. Don't think I really need this page anymore. Let me see. Right, let me see if I can find that video by Barclay. Let me see. And I do remember where exactly I've seen that. I think it was in Telegram. I do know that. Let me see here. Here we go. Right, let me see if I can get this up here. Just want. It's gonna take forever with the buffering. Great. We'll just leave it loading up just for a bit, and we'll see when we can kind of come back to that. But basically, in short, it's a video clip Barclay uploaded onto Telegram. It's a BBC Click talking about online gaming, how it's now a recruitment center for extreme groups. And of course, they do mention Mark Collette and also Patriarchal Alternative as a quote-unquote white nationalist group. So, of course, they're going to mention us within that very same clip. So hopefully at some point I can get this clip loaded up. and then see from there. But let's see. Even if I don't manage to play the full thing, I'll see if I can play it on the next episode of Mood of the Nation. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. Right, let me just go back here real quick. It's pop it up here. Yeah, that's fine. Although in the meantime, there was something throughout this week I did see recently in terms of like news articles and whatnot. So maybe for now we can talk about this at the moment. Let me see if I can get the screen back up here just a sec. Here we go. I'm pretty sure you've all have seen this already, or maybe have heard of this, but let me just show you this right now. This is from remix.news. English opera fires white musicians to increase diversity. And a quote from the company's director: "We have prioritized increased diversity in the orchestra." So this is published on the 16th of September, 2021. And I have seen this. I'm not entirely too sure which day exactly. Must have been Tuesday or Wednesday this past week or somewhere like that. But it's maddening. It's very maddening. But let's have a look at this article just now. So I don't think it's actually very long. It's just only just a brief article to read. So let's have a look. English Touring Opera, or the ETO, has fired half of its musicians in order to increase the diversity in its ensemble, resulting in the dismissal of 14 white people between 40 to 66 years of age. They were all informed that they will not be offered any new contracts for the new season beginning in spring of 2022. This is a quote from them exactly, from the director of the opera, James Conway. They said this: English touring opera is committed to increasing all kinds of diversity in its team, and while there have been appreciable steady advances on stage in this area, we have prioritized increased diversity in the orchestra. This is in line with the firm guidance of the Arts Council, the principal funder of ETO's touring work, and of most of the trust funds that support ETO. The Daily Mail quotes from the letter of director James Conway to the musicians concerned. Right, so the firm guidance of the Arts Council, the principal funder of the ETO's touring work. Right, so that's going to be interesting. Let me have a look here and see if I can look into this much clearly and see who's behind the Arts Council, if you will. I'm just going to go back onto this real quick and then see from here. This is the funder of this ETO, so let me have a look here and see. Arts Council England, I'm assuming it's this one right here. And let me have a look and see who are the main head people behind it. Awarding funds from the National Lottery. Oh, so this is like publicly funded, I take it. Ah, all right. Let me see. A reopen for everyone. That's fine and dandy. Let me see. Wonder if it's in their our organization. Work with us. Let's have a look at this. So I'm on the actual website for Arts Council England. Our organization, we were set up in 1946 by Royal Charter to champion and develop art and culture across the country. We're governed by an executive board and national and area councils. At a glance, okay, of reports. I want to have a look at the head people who are behind that, because I think that'd be really interesting. Who be behind this whole thing? Like, telling the ETO, oh, you must have more diversity within your orchestra. So let me have a look here and see. Senior leadership team, right? This would be interesting. Let's have a look at that. Right. Okay. Kate Bellamy is the director of museums. Is the director of museums and cultural property at Arts Council England. Kate has worked in and with museums for over 10 years. Am I actually sharing the screen? I am not. Hold on 1 second. Right, here we go. Arts Council is the most anti-white organization you can find. Oh, this would be really interesting with that. So let's have a look and see here. Yeah, so Kate Bellamy, as I mentioned, let's see. Previous roles include leading of strategy, international and national work at the V&A, and running the National Museum Directors Council. Notice how it's mostly women who are in charge here. So Liz Bushell, Michelle Dixon, okay, Laura Dyer, Hazel Edwards, Well, there's one guy, Phil Gibby, okay, that's fine. Darren Henley, Abid Hassan, foreigner. Hassan, of course, another foreigner, Peter Knott. Let's see, Sarah Maxfield, Sarah Millar, Tonya Nelson, Max Patton, France, yeah, of course. So it's a vast array of people who are in charge of this Arts Council. Hi Tower, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. How you doing? Let me see. From Care, yeah, I saw that. Absolutely despicable. By the way, this is C3. Thought I'd change the name and profile to better represent the podcast. That's completely fair. No worries. Thank you very much. Let me see here. Arts Council filth. Let me see. It seems legally is now based on ideology rather than the law. It definitely does come across that. English rules definitely comes across that. Let me see here. Just continuing on this page just now. Oops. Back here. Musicians are officially freelancers who can be fired season to season, but many who have played for the ETO for 20 years. The Musicians Union could condemn the measure, stating it was horrified by the move. After the lockdowns, artists said they were hoping to get back to work next spring to pay off debts accumulated during the pandemic. There are currently no non-white musicians in the orchestra, which is scheduled to resume concerts in the coming month. Those who had their contracts terminated, that's dire, man. That's really absolutely dire. Imagine needing to pay all these debts and you're expecting to come back to this orchestra, and then to find out, oh no, sorry, you're not actually are welcome back, because we just need to promote those diversity quotas and all of that. Absolutely gut wrenching. That must be absolutely gut wrenching, that. But yeah, there we go. That's the article in question. It's it's very dire. I feel bad for the people who have to be sacked because of that, because as I said, they've been part of that for over just about 20 years or so. And yeah, it's just really sad that I guess they're going to hire as much non-whites as humanly possible. Will they be talented with the musicians? I doubt it, but we'll need to wait and see, of course. Let me see. All these artsy fartsy law are all left wing SJWs. They all are like that. The mostly people who are are part of the arts and crafts type of community. You'll notice that they're mostly are liberal types of people anyway. So yeah, most of people from that crowd are usually like lefty type of people anyway. So. But yeah, it's completely filth. Regarding to the Arts Council doing that. Oh, let's just fire all these white people, but then just for the sake of diversity and whatnot. It's completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. How many of those people sacked still think we nationalists are the scum of the earth? Though that's a good point. I'm pretty sure they're still in denial, but just because it's all because they don't want to be looked at as racist, of course. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was still still think that we're like the most scum of the earth people imaginable. But let me have a look and see here real quick. Don't really need the article anymore. Let me see here. the left wing love ugly. It's got to be ugly to be cool. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Maybe they're happy to lose their jobs for the sake of diversity. You never know. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we come to that point. But funny how us Brits are to feel all the guilt for the empire and none of the pride. Yeah, another race. Yet every other race can feel pride for their history and none of the guilt for their actions. Exactly. It's it's a blatant double standard regarding to that, isn't it? Where it seems like any non-white, blacks, Asians, Middle Eastern or brown, or if you will, it's okay for them to be a collective and feel a sense of pride for their communities and their own people. But when white people do it, oh well, no, you can't exactly do that. Don't you remember World War II? Don't you remember Nazi Germany and all of that? It's completely ridiculous. Just the blatant double standard of it all is completely ridiculous. Let me have a look here and see. I got Telegram up again, just so that. Well, that video's still kind of buffer. Actually, I could maybe save that video for my guests coming on, and maybe we could talk about that in more detail. But for now, where's that page I was looking into and see if I can maybe cover more articles for the time being. It was, where is it? Was it Anti-White News Bulletin or something along those lines? There we go. Anti-White News Archive. Right. Let's have a look and see that just now. So, oh, actually, I can showcase something really funny. It's to do with Hamza Yusuf. It was that video. Oh, hold on one sec. Here, did you see? Did you see Sargon's piss awful take on that Raducanu tennis girl? Lol. No, I've not seen that. Maybe we can actually do that. Maybe I can react to that and see from there. So let me have a look and see. I'm assuming this is on his podcast, if I'm not mistaken. Let me have a look and see from here. And it's the Locust Eaters. Hold on. Yeah, right. Let me see if I can find the one about the tennis player. If I can, and then we'll see from there. Oh no, these SJWs, they're the real fascists. Shut up. Don't know if I can. I should be able to find it here. Where the hell is it? Let me see here, because it should be there somewhere. Because I know many people were talking about it. I know Mark talked about it on PWR. Where the hell is it? I hope he hasn't. I hope he has not privated the video for whatever reason. But let me see here. Let's see. His take was he was annoyed at left wingers calling her an immigrant. Okay. Kier, what to do is, if you don't mind, if you could send me the link to that video, and then I can see if I can have a look into that. If that's okay with you, I don't seem I can find that anywhere because I want to have a look into that. Because I've been kind of meaning to do that anyway, regarding to Mood of the Nation, just reacting to a particular video from Sargon or anyone else for that matter. So, or Carl Benjamin, wherever he likes to go by these days. But Carl, In fact, we can have a quick look at this actually. While see if we can wait for that link. Hold on a sec. Will do. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Let me just share the screen real quick because this is something they've announced here. Locust Eaters live with Count Dankula, Andrew Lawson, and Leo Kars, I think it is. This will be on the 24th to 25th of September 2021. We'll just have a quick watch of this to see from there.
You should come to our live events. There's one on the 24th of September.
Just real quick, sorry, just one thing. I will give Sargon one credit regarding to his appearances on all their videos. He has lost a lot of weight, which I will give him that. That's actually the one bit of praise I will give Sargon. He has lost a lot of weight, which, I mean, that's really good to see. But other than that, he's a dumb cunt politically. So we'll just watch the rest of the video. So
one on the 25th of September. The 25th of September one's probably almost sold out, but there might be a few tickets left. But there are still some for the Friday, where we have special guest Andrew Lawrence, the world's most cancelled comedian, probably at this point. And
certainly in Britain.
Goodest boy didn't do nothing as well. Very much. I'm a big fan of Andrew Lawrence anyway, so I'm really glad that he's going to be our special guest on that day. But we're also going to be having other things. Count Dankula is going to be there, Mark Meekin, which I pronounced correctly this time, and he'll be doing a comedy set. And you're doing a special secret presentation, aren't you?
My secret speech. I don't want to leak it yet because the surprise is part of the speech. So,
right. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be about immigration policy. So.
Right. Okay. And I'll be doing a secret presentation as well, which again I don't want to spoil because it ruins the fun of it, doesn't it? But yeah. So these will be somewhere in South London, secret venue, because you know how leftist activists are. Insufferable. But we will email you the details of where the venue is after you've signed up, obviously, because that way we don't have to make it public, and a bunch of people who don't want to come and just want to stop us from having a live event can't come and shut it down. So you can go to loadseas.com and find that, and we will see you there.
Well, that was probably the most uneventful video I've ever seen, but there you go. Thank Kira as sent me that video. Hold on a second here. Perfect. Thank you for. Oh, was that one? Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much for that, Kira. Really appreciate that. Let me see if I can play this on stream. Is it still showing? Yep, it is. Awesome. Again, Kira, thank you very much for that, dude. Really appreciate that. Obviously, with Sargon, it's for the pound. Yep, it's no surprise there. Let's have a look and see this just now.
So we're going to have a look at Schrodinger's Brit. So this is the Brit until you look at it, and then it's not Brit, or at least until she wins.
Should we say her rather than it?
This is they usually talk about cats with Schrodinger. So, but anyway, So this is the tweets, the story. Emma Raducanu. Sorry if we're getting the name wrong, but you're in Britain now. It's going to get anglicised.
Cool, yeah.
So we are taking her home, and then love heart, British flag, trophy, because she played some tennis, did the Opens, and won them.
Well, yeah, she won the US Women's Open, and the first Brit in 44 years or something to win it.
But also, she's incredibly young.
And yeah, she's 18. So immense amount of pride she should be able to take in her achievement.
Right, just real quick. Now, what I have seen from PWR, I hope I'm saying this correctly. If I'm not, please correct me if I'm saying it wrong. But regarding to this lassie, Emma is a daughter of immigrants. From one of them is half Canadian and one of them is from Romania, if I'm not mistaken. I think one of them is Romanian and one of them is half Chinese, half Canadian, if I'm not mistaken. And therefore, the daughter is not technically British, ethnically speaking, but of course, we live in a time where anyone can be British. As long as you have a British passport, then it's completely fine. What's there to worry about? Yeah, China and Romania. Thank you, Kier. Thank you very much for that. If Raducanu is British, then I'm a half Romanian Chinaman. Sort of the arcade sitting at Central. YouTube keeps removing my comment. Why is Count Dankula not on Team Ethno yet? It was a good question because you think he would be on our side by now, but nah, I don't see him anytime soon coming over to this side of the political fence on YouTube. I think he's staying where he is. I think he's staying far away from the ethno-nat scene as humanly possible. She was born in Canada, right? Well, there you go. She isn't really fully British, or not even ethically British for that matter, but there we go. So let's continue from there.
It is something genuinely momentous. It's good that everyone's celebrating her. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Simple as.
Yeah, exactly. Simple as.
Right.
I don't watch sport. I don't follow sport, so I didn't have anything to say about this. So I didn't comment on any of this on my social media because I don't care. I don't care. I mean, good. Good for them as a personal individual achievement, and I'm glad that she's doing well representing our country. Fantastic.
So we have the right wing response. I thought I'd go for someone like Darren Grimes to show that just universally it was just British flag, cool photo.
And scroll down a little bit, John, just so we can see the photo. What a stunning photograph! Yeah, that is a very nice photograph.
It's good.
Yeah,
it wasn't a left wing response though.
That just feels very wholesome, though, doesn't it? It's like, yeah.
Well, yeah, but she's not British. I mean, so I don't feel a sense of attachment to her anyway. So I'm sorry, but not sorry. Like, it's just she's not. I mean, I would appreciate this photograph a lot more if the lassie was actually British, being Scottish or English or Welsh or Irish, but she's not. So, like. But of course, these people, these Sipnas, are trying to act like as if, like, oh no, she is British. In fact, even Nigel Farage was like praising her, like, oh, like she is British, regardless. But it's funny because like her, this Emma chick has like family who are from Romania, and apparently Nigel Farage completely does not like Romanians for that matter, which is kind of funny because why doesn't he make the same or similar comments to brown people or anything like that at all? But I guess it's easier to tackle on Romanians for that for whatever reason. But it kind of shows you that these Sipnas don't have any form of principle or anything like that whatsoever, especially Nigel Farage, who will say one thing 1 minute and then completely contradict himself the next minute because it's politically convenient for these people to do that. So. But we'll continue from there. Whoa, okay, we're not going to watch the full video, but we'll definitely we'll see from there. We'll see parts of it here and there. So, but let's continue on from there. So,
yeah, woman wins trophy, British flag. She's young, beautiful. Everything looks good. The aesthetics are perfect. And there's a
foreigner.
There's a problem with the bloodlines.
Yeah, she got the wrong blood.
Right.
That's the left wing response. To represent that, we have Sadiq Khan. Nobody. So
he's got the right bloodline, apparently.
Totally British. He's not a proud European at all.
Yeah.
So Emma Raducanu's story is a London story. Born in Canada to Chinese and Romanian parents.
Sounds very London.
She moved to London at 2 years old.
Right.
Here in London, we embrace and celebrate diversity.
So she moved to London, 2004?
Something like that.
2005? Something like that?
Yeah. But she's 2. She has no memory of the motherland.
Well, of course.
Whatever that is. So anyway, here in London, we embrace our diversity. And if you work hard, you get a helping hand and you can achieve anything. Hashtag US Open, Canada, China, Romania, Britain.
Hang on,
flags.
what helping hand did she get? What is he saying? He's trying to take something away from her achievement. She practiced tennis, right?
Yes. She's 18.
Yeah. So, I mean, we don't say that children are getting a helping hand when their parents buy them a tennis racket. That's not what that is.
Yes.
Right? That would be an inappropriate way of framing that because you're taking something away from the young person who has achieved something through hard work and diligence.
But what I think more importantly is, of course, that his framing the whole thing is, she's a foreigner. She's not British. She's a mixture of Canada, China, Romanian, British.
I mean, that's literally what he's saying here.
Yeah, as Americans talk with them, like, I'm half Irish, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, no, we don't do that here.
No.
You're either British or you're not.
Yes.
And that's usually how it
And she
works.
obviously considers herself British since she's waving our flag and winning trophies.
yeah, but she's technically not British. Wait. I mean, I can't believe I'm kind of agreeing with Sadiq Khan here, but he's kind of right. She's technically not British. Like she wasn't born in this country. Her parents were not born from this country, so she technically is not part of the British family tree or the British bloodline. Like she's not. I just don't understand why this is so hard for these fuckers to understand that.
For us.
Grown up in London since the age of 2.
And why would you bring it up?
Yeah.
Like, why would you bring it up? Why would you be like, right, now let me tell you about her bloodlines?
Like standing under the British flag, the image. And it's
the incorporative position of, well done for being British. And, but this is just gross, isn't it? So let me tell you about her DNA. Don't you need to know about the purity or impurity of her blood? Let me explain.
She's ein eighth Jew.
It's disgusting.
Kind of anyway.
It's Sargon and whoever this fucking Sargon's secretary or whatever the fuck his name is. I mean, race does play, or DNA or whatever the case may be, does play a factor within our society. I'm sorry, but not sorry. It does play into society or any nations for that matter. Because say, for example, if another sporting event, say like, I don't know, football or soccer for any American viewers watching, right? See, like it was like the Japanese team who won the main like the World Cup or everything like that. They were like the winners of the World Cup of 2021. Just for hypothetical speaking here, right? And all the members of the team were all Japanese. Like they would definitely identify. It would be identified by that because they're fully Japanese. There's not like one member of the team who's non-Japanese being part of the team celebrating the victory or anything like that, because it's weird. It's really weird regarding to this point here, because at the end of the day, she's not British by bloodline or anything like that at all. So of course there's going to be people calling that out and saying, well, look, it's great that she won this cup during the US Open for Britain and all of that, but again, it would be nice and more beneficial if the lassie in question was more British. Again, regardless if she would be Scottish or English or Welsh or Irish, it would be beneficial if she was ethnically British, because being ethnically British means white in this case, and that's always what it comes down to. But at the end of the day, she's not fully white and she's not fully British when it comes to DNA and whatnot. It plays a factor when it comes to these events, and also when it comes to other nations and overall society for that matter. So,
literally one drop sort of language.
It could be just Sadiq Khan being Sadiq Khan, a
Which it is,
weirdo. No, of course not. It's a lot more than that. So they're all at it, as someone pointed out. So we have Sadiq Khan, of course, in the first one, being himself, and then you have Claudia Webb. Because...
Okay, what's it? Emma Raducanu, a Chinese Romanian immigrant to the UK, born in Canada, has won the US Open, being the first British woman. You just said she's not British.
It's the football all over again.
Chinese Romanians, are they British? Is that, places that Britain doesn't own?
But anyway, it's also the endlessly like she's one and she's diverse, therefore diversity is our strength.
Yeah.
Again, it just won't die.
Yeah, full-on politicization. Oh, look, an immigrant from a Romanian, Chinese, Canadian family. Grand slams the haters. What haters? What haters? Who hates this young woman who won a trophy?
Like an 18-year-old won a tennis trophy.
Yeah, suck it, haters.
Yeah, well, there's like a group of people somewhere like,
I'm so angry about it.
Can't stand this.
It's so
Americans
weird.
Probably, actually, because they lost.
Well, yeah. okay, fair enough.
Yeah, another verified check mark.
Half Romanian, half Chinese. Thanks for bringing up her blood. Again, like that's the important part about her.
Yeah, because she's not fully British. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm repeating myself here, but the reason why people are bringing this up, well, when the left bring this up, they always bring this up as a way of trying to get at people like us nationalists. Like, oh, see, diversity does work, and all these immigrants. It's important for all of these immigrants coming into Britain because of this. It's like, well, yeah, that's the reason why they're bringing this up. That's the core reason why they're bringing up. She's not fully British. We bring it up as like, because she's not fully British, she shouldn't really be identified as a British person because she's not. The reason why these leftists are bringing up her past nationality and all of that, being half Romanian, half Chinese and whatnot, and also being born in Canada, is because they're trying to push this idea of, oh, look, see, immigration does work and diversity is her greatest strength. But there you go. So
yeah. Nothing. They just can't get over themselves, and it's ridiculous.
Have we even asked her what was, the deal behind it? She might have been like, well, it was the standards that really made me just get up every morning and was like, no, I really should go. Who knows? I don't know. I'm making this up. But
no, it's our blood.
Yeah, exactly.
The blood.
But anyway. That's what they're defaulting to, isn't it? It's like, look, it's something that came from not Britain that made her great. And it's like, yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, so this is another sickening moment in British politics. Yeah. If we go to the next one, someone pointing out that, of course, they're only talking about tennis. Sorry, they have nothing to say about tennis.
That's a great point. Nothing to say about tennis, any of them. Exactly. They don't have anything to say about the tennis, nor the self-discipline, nor the personal accomplishment, nor the personal trials she may have endured to get to this point. No, we're bringing up her blood.
Mm.
Yeah, because they don't care about the tennis aspect. See, another point to make about this whole thing is that these leftists are trying to push the anti-white narrative. That's what this is all about. It's about race. It's trying to promote an anti-British, anti-white agenda. As I mentioned before, it's something like this. Oh, this is why we need diversity. This is why we need these immigrants. This is why it's important that these immigrants come here, because they add value to our British society. Well, we all know they don't really in terms of that, but that's what this is about: is trying to push this anti-British, anti-white narrative.
Let me talk about her race.
You know what's funny though? There would actually be a valid conversation to be had about some of her heritage, because you did a video congratulating, not congratulating.
And also, I just also want to make a point real quick about Sargon. Like he's acting all like, oh, look at these leftists. They're the real fascists talking about race and whatnot. They're the real Nazis. It's like, Sargon, didn't you in the past like talk shit about the German people because of historical reasons and whatnot? I don't think you have any right to criticize the left for doing that type of stuff when it comes to other groups and whatnot. But that's besides the point, really, regarding to that. But
saying thank you to her Chinese fans in Chinese.
Sure.
She speaks Mandarin. She's
Yeah.
thank you, love you all in the video, and it's like, yeah, that could be a conversation, but no, the
Sure.
bloodline. It's a blood.
Yeah.
Like the fact that she's half Chinese. She speaks some Chinese and then said thanks on Chinese media because, tennis, international thing.
I mean, if I suppose, I guess, did she do one in Romanian?
Not that I'm aware of. But I don't know. Anyway, so there's that, which, yeah, is gross. So there's an article on this, on analysis.com about this, that he can't slam for race baiting over the comments. Some of the other responses in here I thought were interesting to go through.
It cracks me up how much of a man that Sadiq Khan is.
Yeah, it really is. So Dr. Rakib
It's like a child.
Ehsan, a writer on race, culture, and identity and research at the Henry Jackson Society, wrote, if you're going to use Emma Ridkaru's outstanding achievement to peddle your identity and diversity policy, at least be respectful enough to spell her name correctly, because apparently Sadiq Khan actually spelled it wrong.
Yes.
Which, yeah, he was in a rush.
Yeah.
Politics waits for no one. There's also Lawrence Fox making the point, no one cares about anything other than the fantastic day for Emma, not about ethnicity or backgrounds.
No.
Diversity of thought and skills, all that.
She grew up in Britain from the age of 2.
I'm not going to take Lawrence Fox's comments seriously, because isn't he the same guy who once said that racism is worse than pedophilia when it comes to the film Cuties? In one tweet that's now been deleted for whatever reason that may be. Just to point that out there, folks, for you. So.
2. She's not going to know any other culture. She's going to be British. There's no question of it.
Also, a fantastic part of this is all the just randos saw through this like anything.
Good.
Because it's obvious BS. So we'll just have a few here. So first one, if we go to the next tweet. So first one from, I think it was Rachel or something? Yeah, Rachel.
Yeah.
Just remember, if you are an immigrant, the left will always own you. Yeah. And your successes is their successes.
Yeah.
The diversity is our strength.
That's exactly. And I love this. So honestly, Emma won because of her hard work, grit, determination, and perseverance. Again, all British values. Hardcore British values, but old Sadiq can't wait to jump in and share her limelight, and not just share her limelight. Hey, your limelight was because of my politics. That's why. Let's talk about your race now. No, I don't care how much you trained. No, I don't want tennis. Tennis? What are you talking about? Tennis?
Like, Mom, who's this old man? Stranger danger.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Identity.
Yeah, it's gross, isn't it?
Oh, that's weird. So we get the next one. We have some other ones of this. So some people talking about we are celebrating. So someone asking where can we celebrate her achievements. So this person says we are celebrating. We are celebrating the fact that someone who was not born British came here and worked hard and succeeded. It just proves that you don't need to be born British to be British. Immigration is a good thing.
It makes her sound like she thinks that literally the immigrants are a kind of underclass who are supposed to work hard for them. Those native, ethnically born Brits.
Put our legs up. Just relax. Don't do any work.
Yeah, well, we've got the immigrants, because immigration is a good thing. And I suppose if you basically view immigration as a form of slave labor, you would think it was a good thing.
Yeah. Who's going to clean our toilets, as the lady from California said.
Oh, no, that was Ozzy Osbourne's daughter.
Yeah.
We need the Mexicans to clean our toilets. And I'm getting strong energy, same energy from Roxy Cox here. Like,
rainbow flag in the bio.
Yeah.
Of course. So there's one more of these. So if we go to the next one on this, someone else. Stop the silly idea that you have to remind us we're immigrants. Most of us want to feel we belong here. Stop it. She has lived here since she was 2 years old and can't possibly consider herself anything other than British. You lot are obsessed with race. It's incredible. She's amazing.
Right, but she's not British. And another point to bring up regarding to this whole point, and another problem with people like Sargon and this fucking, I don't know. I want to say a certain word, but I can't say it due to like optics reasons. But A bundle of sticks, I shall say. That's all I'm going to say regarding to describing this gentleman here. But another important factor with regard to our society and why people tend to think that race does play a factor into our society, or even in nations for that matter, is because of tribalism. See, these are the kinds of, like, Sargon here is part of that group that tribalism is horrible and we should never be tribalistic in any way, shape, or form. When in reality, it's natural to be tribalistic. It's part of our human nature to be tribalistic. You would rather be with your own people than be the complete opposite people that you're not a part of. That's the whole point of us being human. We're all tribalistic in general regarding to that. And I really don't understand why these pricks like these are trying to dismantle that, or trying to deconstruct that. Oh no, tribalism is wrong, horrible. You should never be tribalistic. Like why? It's part of our human DNA. It's part of who we are as human beings. When it comes to being tribalistic and being there for your own people, it's just part of who we are as human beings at the end of the day.
Yes, and that's exactly it, isn't it? It's specifically highlighting them as not being British and telling them, no, remember, you don't belong. Remember, you're not from here. Remember, you're from somewhere else. Remember, you can't really be considered here because your blood is wrong.
And anything you achieve belongs to us.
Yeah.
Again, the key word here, as I mentioned before, Sargon, is because tribalism, that's the key word here. People are very tribalistic when it comes to their own nations, their own culture, their own history, and more importantly, their own people. So whenever they see something like this, Emma Lassie winning the US Open for Britain, there are going to be people who are going to bring that up, that, oh, she's not like she doesn't have the British bloodline, or she's not a British person, or she wasn't born in Britain, or she's a British citizen, but she's not have any British DNA in her. There's going to be people bringing that up because of tribalism. People are very tribalistic to their own fucking people. It's just part of who we are as human beings at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. I hate it. These left-wing politics are just gross.
Speaking of left-wing politics and the diversity cult in specifics, let's go to the BBC, because they don't stop, do they? So if you scroll to the top of this, there's a section. So this is BBC Creative Allies. Who asked for this?
Creative diversity.
Yes. The BBC's
Conservatives, you should get rid of this, defund this.
Looking at Nadine Dorris.
As if the Conservatives are going to do anything about it. The Conservatives at this point are basically the Conservative Party in name only. They don't give a fuck. They're basically controlled opposition. It's like, Sargon, if you really think the current Conservative Party are going to do anything about this, you are fucking sorely mistaken, mate. Sorely mistaken here.
Yep. Anyway, she's actually also the one in charge of defunding the BBC if she wants to do it, which Steve Baker and a bunch of Conservatives said they were going to do. To get on with it.
Dean. We're waiting.
So the quotes in here: the challenge for our creative industry is great, but not insurmountable. June Sarpong, director, creator,
June Sarpong, brilliant.
She's quoting herself in her own article.
Yeah.
I can't get how cringe that is. It's like, yes, my big brain thoughts.
But what challenge? What are you talking about?
The one in her own head. So this is her writing. The global and national outcry against racism, ignited by the tragic and senseless killing of George Floyd, there's no way he took too many drugs, means that the stakes for inclusive representation are higher than ever before, and then goes on to whine about George Floyd.
Hang on. So what the stakes are higher? So what happens? So if we don't do what June Sarpong, her diversity and inclusion bloodline nonsense, then what? The racists win?
Yes.
The EDL? No, the EDL weren't racist.
The holy prophet of George Floyd will be insulted.
Then the KKK take over the BBC? What happens? It's just wall-to-wall white people, and they'll all be like, look at my DNA test. I'm whiter than Elizabeth Warren. You know, what are they going to be saying? What does she think's going to happen?
But this is her opening paragraph, where she just talks about George Floyd, because, the BBC is totally tied to the death of George Floyd.
She's been in media for decades.
Yeah. So we go down. There's the first video here. The video doesn't actually have any audio, and it's literally just a compilation of George Floyd images and BLM images for no reason.
Let's have a gander at this.
Why not?
Because, it's the BBC.
I love that he's got angel wings. He was just an angel.
Literally
a saint. Canonized. Did nothing wrong.
Yeah, so she inserted this as well, because of course she did. And then if we scroll down, we get to a section called
I Can't Breathe. I guess they took too much fentanyl as well.
So why? The power of allies. The BBC is... I love that as well. It's just like, why?
Yeah, well,
June, why? Stop, for the love of Christ.
you don't
Anyway.
have to do this, June.
The BBC's Creative Allies initiative brings together the creative industry to act in a meaningful way to educate their organisers and workforce on how to be real allies. It was never real diversity ideology. This project aims to connect opportunity and aspiration by providing guidance to those in positions of influence so that they can use that influence to improve diversity in the creative sector and society as a whole. So it's propaganda.
Yeah.
Good. Nice.
Okay, I don't know if there's anything more to cover here. I think I pretty much covered. Yeah, because even Keir said the tweets were like mainly the main focus of that, so that's totally fine. My apologies if I could just continue on with the actual with the just watching it, that kind of thing. But yeah, so because even I think here in the chat even mentioned that it was only just talking about the Twitter post. That was the main focus of that. Watching Sargon is the closest we'll get to time travel. I feel like it's 2016 again. I know, right? I can't copy with his voice. Who is he? Who is he? Let's see. Chief Moody, I was wanting to ask you something for a while. What's your opinion on Oswald Mosley? That's a very good question. I wouldn't say, I think I need to learn more about Oswald Mosley, to be honest. But what I know of him regarding to that, he seemed to be a politician who was very for the people. He was a politician at that point. I think it was around about the 1930s. He was very prominent in just before World War II and whatnot. He seemed like the very politician that people would actually would love and respect. He genuinely cared about the people of Britain. And of course, a certain group of people that tried to destroy all of that, but that's beside the point. Let's see. Fox is sorry, excuse me. So overall, I think I need to learn more about Oswald Mosley. I know there's been some couple of books that have been released by a certain publisher I want to look into, but other than that, I actually think he, like I said, from what I've heard and seen, he seemed like a pretty based politician. And I wish that there was a politician exactly like Oswald Mosley, or even someone like Enoch Powell, for instance, who are around today. But because of today's political climate, I highly doubt we would get anyone even remotely close to any of those two politicians. But maybe sometime so that might change. But hopefully we'll definitely see from there. But to answer your question, he seems like a very base politician. I want to learn more about him because part of the problem of not knowing more about him is because of what you can learn about him is probably maybe skewed by the mainstream media, because of course there was his appearance in the show Peaky Blinders and how they've completely butchered that performance regarding to the portrayal of Oswald Mosley in that show. So part of me is kind of, I need to try and be careful what I need to look into regarding to that, but we'll need to see from there. But no, it seems really based. I'll definitely want to learn more about him in the coming days or the coming weeks or regarding to that. I definitely want to learn more about Powell for instance, as well. So there we go. Sorry I'm late. How come this is your first stream in weeks? Well, technically I did do a stream last week, which is still in private. I need to start that out at some point, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. Yeah, Peaky Blinders called him the devil, so Mosley was a great man. Well, there you go. Chief, would you eat a balloon for Mark? It's a pretty bizarre question. I don't know what that's about, but to be honest, no, I don't. I don't know what kind of a question that was, but to be honest, no, I wouldn't do that. So there you go. Thank the Lord, even guys that playing Lord of Tanks but still listening. Apologies. No need to apologize. That's totally fine. Dandy with that. Oh yeah, Kier. Peaky Blinders was good the first 2 seasons, but then really went shit in SJW. The women are always right. White people bad, mostly bad. Yeah, I have heard about that. The first 2 seasons have been good, But then after season, or I think run about season 3, it goes really downhill after that. So BUF, Oswald Mosley and British Fascism is the best book to read. Let me see if I can write that down, just to, of course, as a reminder for myself. Let me see. Hold on one second. Excuse me. I'm just going to write this down in my notes, just so that I'm reminded of what type of books to read regarding to that. So let me see here. Okay. That book, I've seen that around as well. Yeah, that's fine. I'll definitely have a look into that at some point. Thank you very much for that, Whoop Whoop. I really appreciate that. Oh, yeah, I even said that's the one the PA Book Club reviewed. Yeah, I'll definitely have a look into that. Perfect. My great-great-granddad was a black shirt from Mosley. Ironically, he was hated by the family because he ran off with another woman, leaving my great-great-grand-nana and a single mum at 5. Oh, I see. That's really interesting, that in terms of family history, especially regarding to that. So that's good to hear. Also, the socialists in the show are portrayed as the best as ever. Of course, they would be portrayed like that. The Peaky Blinders, I think, is made by the BBC, so of course they would be portrayed in that way. So, yeah, I've had enough of Sargon for this decade. Yeah, I think we all are, to be honest. They seem to think that every part of human nature is flawed and therefore must be repressed at all costs. Yeah, that's what that definitely feels like regarding to these Sith Nats, but especially, especially Sargon. My values, British values, yeah. If that knob on the right says it's all about the blood one more time, I swear I'm headbutting the walls. I bet I don't have whatever these values are. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine so. Let me see. Can't believe people actually think like that. Love my ass off. I would rather that we were all real British and win nothing. Let me see. She would have won whichever country she was dragged up. It demeans her win. Let's see. Literally told to not believe our eyes. Oh, there we go. Yeah, but can't score from the penalty spot though. Has to do with the World Cup between England and Italy, if I'm not mistaken. Paper brush. Yes, all up to date with that. Julia Skinner, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Let me see. She waved the flag. That means she's just as Scottish as you. Yeah, it's the same point they would make. Yeah, with that, definitely. Steve Cray, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Farage equals piece of shit. Dear. Dear. I recommend his book Fascism 100 Questions Asked and Answered. I have heard about that. That was something I also need to look into as well. Can I ask, remember I told you someone said the age of majority should be 21 or 20? He said that should be school leaving age. Oh, that's interesting, that. Give it to a black man, he was scored, laughed my ass off. But no, Colin, I do remember you asking me that, and that's really interesting regarding to that point there. He said that should be school leaving age. Oh, okay. That's actually interesting. That, yeah, interesting. Wait, sorry, Colin. Was it Sargon that said that, or was it Oswald Mosley that said that? In terms of this school leaving age should be 21 or 20 years old. I just want just so that we're clear regarding to that. So, because if it was Sargon that said that, then oh geez, I don't think Oswald Mosley would say something like that. But let me see. Just have a quick sip of my drink. No, it was someone I know personally. Oh, I see, right. Okay, what are your views on that in terms of the age or school leaving age? That's a pretty good question. I don't think it should be, well, to be honest, I don't think it should be 21 or 20. Because I think that's a bit too old regarding to, because when you're 21, that's, of course, when you're officially an adult. When you're 20, I think that's still a bit too old because you're still a young adult, but you're just approaching a year towards being and going into adulthood. So I think when it comes to the school leaving age, I think honestly, if I have to choose, I think 16 is a bit. I think it's a 15 or 16. I'm not entirely too sure regarding to the school leaving age, but I think it's one of the two ages. But I think it's maybe a bit too young to leave at that particular age. I think there should be like a justification to leave school around about 18, but when you're like sixth year or something like that. But to be honest with you, I think when it comes to ages 21 or 20 years old, I think that's a bit too old in my opinion, but that's just me. So, let me see. English weather. Laura did a video on PP Blinders Mostly episode. I remember seeing that. That was when she still had her YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. I remember her covering that particular topic about Peaky Blinders, especially the Oswald Mosley episode. Of course, she was not a fan of that whatsoever. So it's 16, but you can go sixth form for another 2 years. Oh, there you go. Fair enough. I don't know if maybe that's like an English thing, but I think in Scotland with the education system, it is slightly different compared to what England's is like in regard to that. If university or college was run by our guys, then people should be encouraged to stay in education. But right now, I'd want to game end myself if I was made to stay in school, left my ass off. That's fair enough. That's a fair point to make. I'd have hated to still be at school at age 20. Yeah, I would probably be the same. I had friends who were building with their who were building with their dads at 14. Must be like a different time sort of thing regarding to that. But there we go. Yeah, it was a great fed. Where are we going with that? Wonder if not really with that. No worries. Remember the video I talked about? I was going to cover for today's episode. I think I'm going to cover that for next week with my guest on the show. I wouldn't like to be at school that long. Yeah, because I mean, school at this point, I can imagine that school must be completely dire for our children at this point in time. Mainly because of how anti-British it is, and how anti-Scottish, anti-English, and all it is, and how anti-white it's become. So, could you imagine being a teenager and going to school at this point in time? It must be absolutely dire at this point. Am I able to post links here? I just want to post an Amazon link to one of Moswell's books. You can if you wish. You just have to copy the link and paste it into the chat, and then it should pop up as well. So if you want to post a link in the chat, that'd be much appreciated, sir. Thank you very much. I also think when it comes to education, besides the current climate we're in just now, I think it's important for kids to stay in education for as long as humanly possible. But then again, I can understand. I can understand why kids would not want to participate in the current school system because of how anti-white it really is. So, let's see from there. Let me just have a quick look at Amazon real quick because well, some kids are better off with a trade. Might as well start early. No, that's a good fair point. Fair point with it. YouTube isn't letting me post a link. Oh well, no worries. I'll see if I can find the book. I'm actually surprised you can actually get this book on Amazon. I wouldn't think Amazon would sell this book because of the subject matter at hand regarding to that. But let me have a quick look and see. My Life by Oswald Mosley. Oh, there you go. That's one of the books. Fascism for the Million. Well, it was actually from Oswald Mosley himself, but where is the book? Oh, there it is. Oswald Mosley and British Fascism. What I'll just do, folks, is we'll just have a look at this here. It's this page here from Amazon.co.uk. That's fine. Yep, that's the book in question that was reviewed on the PA Book Club. BUF, Oswald Mosley and British Fascism. I'm actually surprised that this is on Amazon because, again, due to the subject matter and due to the person, what this book is meant to be about, you think that Amazon would be like, oh no, we're not selling this whatsoever because for political reasons. But it's very surprising that this is on Amazon for that matter. But honestly, to be honest with you folks, I don't know if maybe purchasing I can't speak tonight. Sorry, purchasing something on Amazon is a good idea at this point. Because I'm pretty sure I may have covered this on the show at one time, but I think there was a guy who was who bought some books on Amazon, but was arrested due to the books he ordered online. One of them was like the Anarchist Cookbook, which that's a book that's been available to the public for many years. But apparently, at this point, if you decide to buy that book on Amazon, then you'll get arrested or something like that. But it's quite scary nonetheless. I don't know if the same would happen if you were to try to purchase this book on Amazon, but there we go. So that's actually not bad for pricing. So how many pages? 234. All right. Well, that could be a pretty good question to ask for the chat. Just before we end tonight, for me personally, most would prove that fascist doesn't equal evil monster. Kier, young men being forced to sit down in classes for hours at a time has caused an enormous amounts of mental damage in society. No, that's definitely a very valid point, Kier. That definitely is very true with that. I mean, I would even go as far to say that because of how anti-men the education system has truly become, you can even make the argument that it's causing severe suicide rates regarding to that, which is absolutely horrible and disgusting. The way things have been portrayed towards men. So, Colin Gibson, what do you think of drug addicts in this country running around basically acting like they're the victims? If people act like they're the victims, if people act like they're the victims, it's disgusting. I think it is really disgusting because at the end of the day, these people, drug addicts or junkies, if you want to call them, claiming to be the victim, it's like no one has put you in that position. The only person in your life who has put you in this position in life is yourself, and the only person who can get you out of that position is yourself. So if you want to clean your act up and no longer being a junkie or anything like that at all, the only person to do that is, as I said before, is yourself. No one else but you can fix that. So I think, it is pretty disgusting that people like them portray themselves as victims. I mean, because it's like they're not really victims because they put themselves in that position to begin with, and they themselves are the only people that get themselves out of it. But there we go. So, Gorilla, I bought a Confederate flag on Amazon. Should I be worried about counterterrorism bursting through my door? Well, see, that's the major worry at this point, isn't it? It's gone now to the point where you buy a certain thing that's not part of the politically correct established order in society, then there's a strong possibility that counterterrorism could be bashing through your door and accuse you of being a terrorist. Just because you buy a certain product that's not part of the political correct or part of the status quo within society, it's gone to that point where if you buy something like that, that really concerns me. And that's why I think it's a bit worrying of someone purchasing something like that and possibly getting arrested because of that. So, I really don't know. I don't think maybe worry about that too much, but I think if they do come bursting through your door, then maybe that is a bit of a red flag there, maybe a worry there. So, the book guy is from Maidenhead and still in prison. Shocking fit up. Yeah, I think he's still in prison, if I remember hearing correctly. But it's disgusting nonetheless with regard to that. So he's been thrown in prison because of certain books he bought. Absolutely disgusting. Mosley had far more humanity and respect for others than Churchill ever did, but people don't like to talk about it. Yeah, no, people just don't like to talk about it, which is really a shame. Jason Cohn, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, or No White Guilt, has his books on Amazon. I think I remember seeing that as well, so there we go. Only 5 to 6 years ago, I remember seeing Confederate flag bumper stickers in shops, but of course now they're no longer doing that because of political reasons, of course. My mom was almost mugged by one, but where's her sympathy? And I know, right? It's hopefully your mom was okay regarding to that. So, but these junkie types, they try to act like as if they're the victims and all of that. So. Little girls love to chatter. Boys like to run about and climb. Yeah, that's very true. There we go. Think what I'll do, folks, is because it's 3 minutes till 8. Let me see if I can find the link for Mark's stream at 7 o'clock. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, Perfect Dark, Nintendo 64. If you're into that, then I'll just post a link here and see from there. So that is the link for Mark's stream on Odyssey. I don't know if he's going to be live on D Live for regarding to that as well. Let me see. He only posted the link for Odyssey. I don't know if it's going to be the same for D Live. I think it would have been the same for D Live, but well. But anyway, there's a link for Mark's Odyssey channel to check out the live stream for Perfect Dark and N64. If you're into that, then check it out for yourselves. Great stream, Chief. Can't wait to be on next week. I can't wait for you and Jay to be on next week as well. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really awesome. And for that, hold on 1 second. Richard Hammond from Top Gear used to have a Confederate flag painted on the roof of his Mini. Well, that's pretty based. So for that, yeah, I think I'll call the stream to an end. So I want to thank you all so much for watching tonight. I shall be back on Thursday, but any updates or anything like that at all, I'll keep you guys posted in the meantime. But definitely follow me on Telegram, again, just for future updates and whatnot. I'll see if I can find my invite link as well. Again, if you haven't followed me on Telegram just yet, then let me see if I can get the invite link and post it in the chat as well. Let's see. There we go. That's the Telegram link for my official Telegram channel, so please click on it if you haven't done so already. Well, if you want to, that in this case. So what I'll do in the meantime, guys, is, as I said, I'll just come to an end there. Let me just see if I can find a song to play us out with. Maybe something I don't normally play regarding to that. Let me see. Oh, I know. This might be pretty good to play us out with. All right. Hopefully, you guys would not mind this whatsoever. But no, in all honesty, thank you all so much for watching, and also thank you all for your support. Please check out Mark's stream and tell him I've sent you regarding to that in the chat if you don't mind. But until then, see you guys on Thursday. This is Chief Moody signing out. You have been watching the Mood of the Nation podcast, and I will see you all in the next episode. Thank you all so much. Take care, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you, and good night.
What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Away, hey, up she rises, way, hey, and up she rises, way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises, way, hey, and up she rises, way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Put him in a longboat till he's sober, put him in a longboat till he's sober, put him in a longboat till he's sober early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises, way, hey, and up she rises, way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning.